Hey guys, Alex here. So you probably saw my first video, uh, the test for the K390. Ran the test, ran the cut test, sharpened DMT coarse, DMT fine, stropped. I actually ran the test twice. This thing only cut 16 more feet than the factory edge. A little disappointing. I could probably deduce it to the HRC, and I'm only basing this off the PM2s, so that's where we stand right now. Yeah, we're gonna regrind this bitch tonight. So what I'm gonna do is take it apart, clean it off with some acetone. I'm gonna use a fresh belt. I got a 60 grit right here. We're gonna go 60, 80, 120, and then I have a Trizact 3M belt. We're gonna finish it with that. I'm gonna throw my logo on there, and then we're gonna use a surface conditioning belt because hand sanding's for fucking suckers. So that's what we're gonna do. Probably won't get to the conditioning belt tonight. I'm gonna try. It's like 8:02 Eastern Standard Time right now. So yeah, let's try to get this done. I'm gonna let the camera roll. I'm gonna adjust different angles, and then we're gonna fast forward a lot of this stuff. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, so I got the knife all apart, cleaned it off. I use a file guide. So I do this because there's a slight kind of curve in there, and some guys can do it freehand. I don't want to. I want it to be like pretty exact. So I use a file guide, but there's a slight curve. Anyway, this is due to when the blade is manufactured. They put it into the jig in the CNC machine, and a giant disc bit turns in and then creates that curve in there. So you'll notice on a lot of, well, pretty much all like Para 3, PM2 Spydercos that happens. So I'm just going to use this file guide. We're going to go low and slow and get this reground. For reference, let's do a quick behind the edge. Let me zero this out here. So we got about 250 or 25, 24, somewhere around there. Let's do it up here. So we got 240. And then 22. Let's go one more time in here. It's 25, 24 thou. We're going to try to take it down to, I want to do 15, 12 or 15 and somewhere in there. So we'll do that, and I'll be checking it periodically. So yeah, let's get to it.
So what's happening here is the grinder's on a very slow speed. It goes from 10 to 100. I have it on in between 10 and 20. And after each pass, I'm dipping it in cold water. The blade never heated up at all the whole time I was running it through the process. You'll notice every once in a while that I'm looking at the blade. What I'm doing is trying to see how much material is being taken off at the shoulder of the apex. This apex was very, very high up because I was following the same profile as the factory apex. But this steel was very soft, around 63 to 62 HRC. I could tell that because it was grinding fairly easily. Typically a 65 to 66 HRC will you'll probably go through a belt and then into a brand new belt. So about 1.5 belts, just doing the final profile. But yeah, it definitely ground very, very quickly. This is the 60 grit belt. It's not super gritty compared to the 35, but it does get the job done. So I actually skipped grits here. I went from the 60 grit to the 110, only because, again, the steel is very, well, softer than what I'm used to. So I didn't want to go too far down with the 80 grit, but I just wanted to lighten up this scratch pattern a little bit before I moved on to the Trizact belt. Here I'm checking the thickness, getting to where about I want to be. I think what I hit was around 12 to 11 thousandths behind the edge, which is what I aimed for. Here we have the Trizact belt. This is a finishing belt. It doesn't take off a lot of material at all. This is about 220 grit. They have a weird rating system. It's like an A65 or A100, somewhere in there, but it equals out to be a 220 grit. So I'm just kind of thinning out those scratches, making things look a little bit neater. And then finally I moved on to a surface conditioning belt. I have 4 finishes, super coarse, medium, and fine. I'm using the fine right now. I just wanted to lighten up the scratch pattern a little bit more. It doesn't take all the scratches out, but does blend them in very, very nicely. It sure beats hand sanding, that's for sure. But yeah, and that's the final process.
Alright, so that was the regrind process. I just finished it up with a surface conditioning belt. It's the way I like it. I like to see the scratch marks in there, but you can't feel them, so that's nice. I did hit this with the surface conditioning belt, just kind of clean it up a bit. I noticed it was wearing right here, which is strange because it's a brand new knife, so we'll see what that's all about. But yeah, I think it looks good. Typical regrind. So I'm gonna clean this up, put it back together, put my logo on it. I probably got to take it back out here at some point and hit it with the Trizact belt again, and then kind of blend everything together with my logo, and then I'm gonna sharpen it and we're going to do another test. So appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and that's all I have. See you guys.